Hey everyone, Kelly Dean Allen here with you again. Today we're going to continue our countdown of the top 200 greatest guitar riffs of all time according to the website Digital Dream Door, with number 198 and the devastatingly heavy opening riff to Blackest Eyes by British prog rockers Porcupine Tree. A riff that was heavily inspired by the brilliant Opeth track Blackwater Park, a track and album actually produced by Porcupine Tree founder Steven Wilson. Now, while I'm quite familiar with Opeth, I'm rather ashamed to say that I've never really dug into Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree's body of work, of which there is plenty. However, if this track is any indication of what their stuff is like, I certainly must get on that, and get on it soon. That said, this track, despite being about a serial killer, I think, is rather a pleasant, lightweight, and jaunty acoustic affair, except for that brutally heavy opening riff, which reprises near the end of the track, just in case you forgot about it after all that pleasant and jaunty acoustic stuff you just listened to. Great stuff. Regardless, let's close in here a little bit, learn how to play the killer opening riff to Blackest Eyes by Porcupine Tree from 2002. Alright then, let's have a look at how to play Blackest Eyes by Porcupine Tree. We are in drop D tuning for this tutorial, so you need to take your low E string, tune it down a full step to D. Everything else standard tuning. Right? So this track has that quiet intro, right, that goes a little something like this. We're going to repeat that same little progression 8 times. Double hit of the open E string and then drop onto the 5th fret of the A with a single hit. Right? And then you're going to hit the open E 3 times and then drop back onto that note at the 5th fret with a quick little double hit. And that's it. Repeat that like 8 times. Right, repeat 4 more times, and then we drop into the main opening riff, which goes a little something like this. There. So we're starting off with power chords. 1 finger power chords, 3, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3, open. Kind of like that, right? Just on the bottom 2 strings. Into this. So we're dropping onto the 5 of the A. Then you're going to hit the open E 3 times, take that 5 of the A and go off to 4 of the A. Let that ring for a bit, and then we're going to go open E once onto 3 of the A. So we're chromatically going 5, 4, 3, right? And finishing open E, 3 of the low E onto 5 of the A. Right, and that is the riff that we're going to repeat 4 times in a row. However, the 2nd and 4th time, we're not going to do this coming off that C note at the 3rd fret. We're going to drop off to an open E power chord and drop right into a power chord on the 3rd fret. So the first time we're going to do this. Right, and then 3, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3, open. Start it again. And then coming off that C note, open power chord onto 3. And then 3, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3, open. And repeat the first one. Right, and that is about the first half of the riff. And we're going to continue, but it's going to change up a little bit. So let's just recap that. and then we're into this. That right there. So more power chords, but this time we're going to ascend them up the neck. 3, 5, 6. Right into this. So open E, 5 of the A, off to open A, open E, 3 of the A, off to open A. And then we finish 5 off to 3 of the low E. Now, the first time we just dropped right onto that power chord off the open E, right? We just 3, 5, 6. Coming off of that lick, we're going to hit a double hit of the open E. And then 3, 5, 6. And to finish, coming off the open E, you drop onto that D note on the 5 of the A, choke it off into the first verse. So that's the second half of the riff. 3, 5, 6. Double hit. Right, putting the whole thing together, the opening, right, nice and quiet. Eight times, right? Right, and then we're into the acoustic section for the first verse. Now, let's get ourselves back in standard tuning. Because it's a different guitar, it's an acoustic guitar. So we're using 4 chords here. This is a F major 7 with a C in the root. So it's F chord, right? 3, 2, 1, but with an open E string, and we're going to jump everything up here and add that C note on the 3rd fret of the A string in the root. So it's an F major 7/C, I suppose. Right? Then we're going to go off to E minor, and then into D sus2, which is a D chord with the open E string, and then into A major. Right? Right, and that's the progression you're going to play all throughout the verses. And this song is mostly acoustic, right, except for the opening riff, and it reprises itself near the end, that opening riff. But it's 90% just like a jaunty, kind of pleasant acoustic song, even though it's about a serial killer. Anyway, there you go. That is how you play Blackest Eyes by Porcupine Tree. Certainly hope you enjoyed that, found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button right down there. Maybe drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind. Hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may find you, and we will see you next time. Cheers.